Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Find It in Frankfort podcast. My name is Pauline Majeski, and I'm Executive Director of the Frankfort Chamber of Commerce. Joining us today is Gerry Griffin, President and owner of Goldy Locks Incorporated. For more than 40 years, Goldy Locks has been helping protect homes and businesses throughout the Chicagoland area. In addition to running a successful business, Gerry also serves on the Frankfort Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. Gerry, welcome, and thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you, Pauline. This is gonna be fun.
I'm
I'm looking
excited to
forward to
have
it.
you
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, this is fun. So let's start at the beginning. How did Goldilocks get started and where did you get the name from?
The name has been so good for us for our growth over the years because everybody doesn't forget it.
Yeah,
Goldilocks
yeah,
is something, because of the kid story, for
yeah,
3
I love
years,
it.
like that. So, anyways, originally how we started was Goldilocks was my dad's idea. So I was around 22 years old when we started this, and it was my dad's idea based on another previous job that I had worked in this wholesale hardware place. Okay, and then what we did is we would put in deadbolt stuff. My dad was building a new house and he's looking at me put the deadbolts and he's like, that's a good business, so that's how it all started. And then, so she took this course and Foley Bellsaw was called, Learn to be a locksmith through the mail. It's a mail order course.
Really?
And he was, encouraging me and my brother to do all that. So the three of us were going to, start this together. And one day I was at home and my brother calls me, goes, "Hey, I got the name for our lock business." I said, "What?" He said, "Goldilocks." I'm like, "Holy cow, that's the number. That's the ticket
That's
right there."
awesome. Yeah.
Yes. So my brother's the one that, came up with the name. And so we started, and then unfortunately my dad got sick and he passed away. So
Oh,
my brother and I built this up to, what it is today. So, my brother's involved in another business that he has up in Wooddale, and I run the day-to-day operations at Goldilocks. But yeah, that's how we started it. And,
that's awesome.
now it's, this is actually our 45th year.
Well,
So, yeah,
congratulations.
yeah, thank you. I'm hoping to make 50 in there. Yeah,
I mean, it's such a young age to start your own business. So not only did you have to learn the locksmith trade, did you take the
yeah,
course the same
right.
way as
So
your
I
dad?
I actually took the same course, and I learned as I went. I mean, 'cause I never actually worked in another locksmith business. We started this from scratch
Yeah,
and built it to, we're probably the largest locksmith in Chicagoland.
that's
So,
awesome. But you also had to learn how to run a business.
right.
So did you have any mentors? Anybody help you with that? Did your
I,
dad
I,
have
I did. Yeah. So my,
experience?
my dad was like an entrepreneur guy. So, he was a liquor salesman, and he kind of groomed my brother and I into business, like our growing up, we didn't really talk about sports or anything like that. We talked about business.
Really?
Yeah, that's how we grew up.
That's so cool.
And my brother, he's a finance major. So, he started off as an accountant, then he was in sales, and then he has this business that he bought in the 90s and stuff. So, he's successful and so right. So he's my mentor. So he taught me how to read a balance sheet, the financial statements, hey, this is what our sweet spot. So he's numbers driven with data.
It's so
So we
important.
look at that data,
Yeah,
so you understand what we're trying to do here. It's like make sure we're not losing money and what have you. So
that's so important.
yeah,
And I think that's really a lot of people don't, when you start a business, you really have to understand how to run the business
correct.
and you have to have goals
Right.
and know if you're meeting them. That's awesome. So when you first started, what was your vision for Goldilocks? Did you guys have like a
So
long-term
yeah, so
plan?
we developed a business plan at the beginning, and it's funny because I still have it to this day. It
Do
was
you?
on a legal pad, all written out,
Yeah,
and,
45 years ago.
yeah, written out, in our parents' kitchen, and yeah. So I
Fun.
still have that to this day that we look at it. And our vision was, we have talked about, because of the way the name was, we thought this would be a great franchisable business. And that was one of our goals, even though we never achieved that because it's a whole nother set of problems, once you get into franchising.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you're
anyways,
managing that whole
yeah,
process
the
as opposed
managing,
to
right.
managing your
Yeah, because you get
business.
an operations manual and all these things. And we were just, so there was a long learning curve for
Mm.
me. So, at 22 years old, I'm going along. And literally, Pauline, I can tell you, I was running all the service calls. My mom would answer the phone and I'm running all the calls,
Truly
running
a
around.
family
Right. Yeah,
business.
yeah. And the funny thing is, I can remember like people call me, they had their locks rekeyed. They just bought a new house and they had these old locks. I'm in my truck going, how the heck am I going to get these back together? I can feel myself sweating and stuff. So, but I was able to overcome that. And I would like, hey, so I suggested new locks to them. I was able to put that on and overcome that, certain problem or that objection to them. So, anyways, there was probably a 10-year learning curve, really, seriously. It's
So is it safe to say you've done every role in that
every
business,
role,
every job?
every role.
Yeah,
Right.
that
Yeah.
makes a really good
Yeah.
owner.
And thing is, after, I'm doing this 45 years, I'm 67 years old, and I love going to work every day. I still love it. Yeah.
What makes you excited to come to work every day?
Okay, what makes me excited is that I could see when I'm growing because, I'm very goal orientated daily. So, I'm a motivated person. So I come in, I'm trying to inspire our crew and stuff like that because I have the concept that I'm looking to not only elevate myself, but elevate everybody that works for me. I want to lift
You
everybody,
want everyone to
right,
feel better,
right.
yeah.
So, because everybody at Goldy Locks are all long-term employees and they have families and stuff like that. I'm responsible for them too. To
Sure.
make sure if I'm successful, they have to be successful.
Yeah.
They help me get there. I couldn't do that without that. So,
That's amazing
yeah,
that you take care of your people
yeah,
so well.
you have to, so, because this way they feel like part of,
Yeah.
so anyways, yeah, so that was kinda it in a nutshell as far as, reasons why I like to go there. It's not thing is because I don't it's like when I walk in the building, I feel good, I'm home,
Good
yeah,
energy.
it's good energy, and I, got it off, and I'm surrounded by an amazing team. My office manager, my general manager, our service manager, our retail managers. We do a lot of fun things. Matter of fact, we do this weekly coaching,
Okay. Well,
through
yeah, let's talk about that
yeah.
a little bit.
So
That's
so this
interesting.
weekend coaching, it's a sales coaching and how to, deal with people and overcome objections and stuff. And we're using a company called Cardone University.
Okay.
And we've been using them for like a year and a half. And every Wednesday we get the same coach and we have 10, 12 people in there, technician stuff. We role play, we have them on a big screen
Yeah.
in our conference room. And then we role play with them and say, how to handle this, how to overcome this, look for this, so it
So you're
gives it
really investing in your
right.
employees
Because we
and
pay our technicians are paid, a salary or hourly wage plus commission. So it's
okay.
not like they're trying to BS somebody that, hey, you need this product. They're looking for opportunities. Say, like say, for example, if your front door has a door closer on a commercial and you notice it leaking, you want to
Mhm.
point it out and they would give them an estimate to, get it finished. But sometimes technicians feel like they're not in sales. And I explain to them, everybody's in sales.
Yeah.
You've been in sales since you're born. You just
You
don't
just didn't
realize.
know it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah,
That's
so that's
awesome that you cultivate those
yeah, right,
skills,
right.
your employees
Yeah,
and
and I constantly, like for myself personally, I have this thirst for education. So I love these podcasts. I love these webinars. I'm in Scottsdale 4 times a year for
yeah.
3-day webinars. Matter of fact, on August 2nd, I'm flying out to Fort Lauderdale for a 2-day webinar out there. And it's a trade association that we belong to, Home Service Freedom. It actually allows us to, share with other people like me, but different contractors. And we share different ideas. So, and going back to what you asked earlier, like one of our goals is my brother and I wanted to be able to create value to that business. Some people get in business and they just take everything out of it. So instead of reinvesting into it for
Mhm.
growth, that's what we've done over the years. I mean, we started off in behind Traverso's Pizza in Orland Park in
Okay.
1981 in a little building, and now we have 3 locations and possibly we're going to have 5. So I'm trying to negotiate, but working on somebody else in the Lincoln Park area. So
Okay.
if
That's
that goes
awesome.
through,
Your business has really evolved from the traditional locksmith business into what it is today. Can you share with us how that happened and what
sure.
your
Yeah.
vision is now or what you're
Right. And what it was is, goes back to the data. So, we realized in any business, well, let's say it's a restaurant business and you're selling only hamburgers. And they were like, okay, we're only selling hamburgers here, but maybe we need to sell fried chicken sandwiches, you know what I mean? That kind of thing.
yeah.
So they get a boost in revenue. So for us, when we were in the locksmith business, we started off really primarily doing residential and then we started breaking into the commercial side because it's a little more complicated to do certain door hardware and stuff like that. So what happened was, and it's kind of a funny story. I was called out to do a rekey. Somebody bought a new house, and I went to the customer's house, and I'm rekeying the locks. And ADT was there putting an alarm system in these 2 guys.
Okay.
And I'm watching them as I look at stuff. I'm like, "Heck, man, I could do that." So I was like, I could do that because I just thought, it's 'cause I love electronics and everything.
yeah.
So back at that time, I was kind of picking their brains at it, and they're like, "Hey, you can go online and learn to become an alarm tech." And I'm like, "Really?" So they gave me the thing, so that's where I learned it. I took another mail order course in the 80s. So at about 87, 88, we got in the alarm business,
okay.
right around there. So we started selling home residential security systems, and then we got into commercial security systems. And today we sell like electronic card reader systems, card access, security cameras, intercom system, door buzzers.
Yeah.
And actually, especially a lot of our work is school work.
Oh, okay.
like,
That's
so
interesting.
yeah, we
Yeah.
secure a lot of schools. We started to lock the schools down because they wanted to be able to buzz people in. Now you
Yeah.
got intercoms. Now we're actually in the process with the way the craziness has been with the schools. I mean, think about it, like when you and I grew up, our biggest fear was tornado. We used to
Yeah.
sit under,
Sit under the desk
yes.
because
So
that's really going to
yeah, I mean,
protect
here
you.
these poor kids got to do all this stuff. So now we're put panic buttons in the rooms so that'll locate the police, the park
Yeah.
right away.
Well, that's necessary and grateful
Right.
for you, the schools to have it.
It's an interesting business. It's a very interesting business. And the thing is, it's a great business where I feel like I'm helping people out. I'm protecting their homes and businesses, something like that. We sell peace of mind. That's what we do. So you feel better about your
Yeah, that's awesome. The security industry really has changed drastically,
correct.
right, over the year. What are some of the biggest changes that you've witnessed since you've become involved in that part of business?
Well, that's a great question. So what I've seen change compared to like let's say the electronic security is the analog systems, like back when we used to do cameras, it was all coax cables, everything's in Cat 5, Cat 6 cameras. And what I've seen here now in the last couple of years is AI are now really starting to identify into the camera. So you can have it down where AI is picking up whether that's a human, an animal, or a vehicle
Really?
that, pulls your driveway or in
Yeah.
your business. And you can get a notification on your cell phone that says, whoa, I have somebody in my driveway. Like I got a notification, somebody pulled in my driveway. So it's detected a vehicle. So there's the vehicle. So it tells you the
Right.
vehicle. You could see what
It's
it is.
just not the motion. It actually knows
It
what it is.
notices,
It's not
right?
a
Yeah,
squirrel running
correct.
across or
Right.
somebody walking
And even,
by.
even the big things now, like doorbells, like Ring came out with their doorbell, and then the guy Ring who invented that, then Amazon bought Ring. And, and I see this stuff all the time where at our associations, they say the majority of people buy those Ring doorbells, 75% of them don't even get installed. Somebody orders it, but they
Really?
never put it up. Yeah, it's incredible. It's amazing. So
Well, that's
imagine
why
what
I
for
went to
us.
you guys to have you do mine because
Yeah.
there's no way my husband would have known.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just think it's the convenience thing. So the thing is like with our equipment that we use, it doesn't collect data. Amazon's cameras collect the data. They see how many packets you get delivered. They're going to send you more emails and advertise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't want anybody to be
Yeah.
tracking that.
Right. So that's the difference, So with the AI though, as far as the changes, that's going to take, I think AI with electronic security is going to keep growing and changing.
Sure.
It's going to revolutionize security.
It's very interesting. So one of your offices is located in the industrial park in Frankfurt. What made you choose Frankfurt?
Well,
Because originally that's not where you started. You said I think you were in Orland, right?
yeah,
And
we started in Orland, and then we had a little industrial space, and then we decided we really wanted retail where that people walk in. So our first place we rented was on Oak Park Avenue in Tinley,
okay.
and then we were there. We moved a couple of places. Once on 171st, we were there like 10, 15 years, and then we bought the property on Oak Park Avenue that we have now. And I used to, have my offices in there, and it was 3,000 square feet. So basically, we grew out of it. And when I got into the commercial door business, we had a door shop in Joliet. So I had a building that I leased out there, and we were running that separately. And I just felt like, okay, I'm looking at this I need a property that I can have all the fuss basically under one roof. So I had the retail over in Tinley. So we have, like in Tinley, I used to have like an office manager. We're all jammed in there. So the reason I picked Frankfort, number one, is because I love Frankfort. Number two, I found a great lot in the industrial park. And my brother and I built this building. We bought the property in 18. We started construction in 19, moved in, during 19, and been there ever since. And we love where we're at. And
It's great. There's so many interesting businesses back
right,
there. Like
yeah,
if you've never driven in the industrial park, it's just
right.
it's shocking like what's back there.
Well, yes. I mean, there's a lot of HVAC guys back there, plumbers. Matter of fact, my dogs, I take my golden retrievers over to K-9 tail
Yeah,
shakers,
there's a lot. You spent decades helping protect homes and businesses, and you've also invested your time helping strengthen the Frankfurt business community through the chamber. What has giving back meant to you?
Well, okay, so I really enjoy, and when you asked me to join the board, and I had, said yes, and I was a little unsure because I just first time I've been on boards the past
Been a great
year.
addition.
Well, thank you.
We're
I
very happy to
appreciate
have
that.
you.
So, and I just feel like, okay, I feel like I'm giving back to the community, the community that's been good to me.
Mm,
And, I felt like, okay, if somebody ever wanted to, I feel like my next life, if I got out of Goldy Locks, I want to be a coach. I want to be able
Be
to
a great
help
coach.
people
Yeah.
to be successful, how to build a business plan, how to market, what it takes to get done. Cause you get ups and downs and how to
Yeah.
overcome all these things. So anyways, I kind of felt like we could do that here or, and we get a great people here that help out. So I just love Frankfurt and I love being on the board and, love what I'm doing.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. So running business 4 decades, not easy. Lots of ups and downs. What's the biggest lesson you've learned?
Oh God, there's a lot of lessons that I've learned. I think the biggest lesson that I learned is to never give up. So what happens, there's the days that you're like, I am so done with this. I can't go on any
Yeah.
further, so I just can't see light at the end of the tunnel. I was just able to, with my motivation, turn around and say, hey,
I'm going to keep
don't you
going.
get going, man. You got this. You just go and get it. So, and I'm an avid reader too. So I like to read books and stuff, and that makes me feel good. And so anyway, the toughest things is just, you got the highs and the lows and to keep focused on what your goals are and I'm big in affirmations, you write down what your goals are for each year. I reevaluate where
Yeah.
I'm at. So I think that's what helps drive it.
So is there any advice you would give to someone starting a business today?
Well, I would say, research the industry that you're really getting into and research who the competitors are. Look at what your potential revenue could be. And I would also say that if you get into business, because here's what I always explain is probably a lot of people say the same thing is, being in business is not easy. As we know, it's not easy being a business. However, I said if business was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Right. Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. So I think it takes the right individual, but if you're focused and you got a good product or service, I'd go for it because if you fail, you just pick yourself back up. You know what I mean? You just pick
At
it up.
least you can say you
It's
tried
it,
too.
right. And
Yeah.
I failed a lot. I mean, I've opened up different locations and I shut them down. So it didn't go, or I'm looking to be in a different market and that didn't work out. So,
You
I
just keep
licked my
going.
wounds and,
Yeah.
and just moved back on. But I'm sticking to what the goal is.
That's great
So,
advice.
yeah.
So where do you see Goldilocks 5 or 10 years from now?
Well, ideally, I would like to see, this is my plan for Goldilocks. We're currently, in the stage of negotiating for a location in the Lincoln Park area with one in Elmville Village. So that's the
Oh,
market.
you're really
Yeah.
expanding.
So our software shows that we're dominated. So we're dominated southwest suburbs, south suburbs, the western suburbs, south loop, south side of Chicago, that kind of areas. So in order for me, I'm looking at marketplaces that I need to expand up in the northwest suburbs and then North Chicago. So once I have those areas covered, then I'm going to do is look for a location in Milwaukee, St. Louis, Indianapolis. That's my goal over the next
Wow.
5 years. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Good for
So
you.
that, but I set my goals high. So
Yeah. Yeah. But good for you. And I'm sure you're going to do it.
I'm hoping so. I'm running out of time though. That's the thing that
No, you're
yeah,
not. You're
it's like,
young.
it's like this.
Yeah.
I just wish I was 40. If I was 40, I could get this thing this. So know what I know.
Okay, so that's funny because one of my next questions was if you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice when you started Goldilocks, what would that be? Knowing everything you know now, right? Like, I
Right.
mean,
Okay.
obviously hindsight is
So
great.
here's the difference back then compared to today. And the reason why I say that 40 thing is so back when I started, there was no internet or everything like that all through the 80s, 80. And then once the internet came along, it allowed you to be able to network more. So if I had to give anybody advice or
Yeah,
what I'd give advice to
younger
myself that
self.
I would do is I would have tried to do more networking with people similar to me. Like,
Okay.
and I didn't realize then that the HVAC companies, the plumbers, the guys that are in the home services business anyways, we're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So I should have tried to go out and meet more people and have other mentors that, to do that. So, cause I thought had that mindset, I could do it all myself, so, and then that's really why I was telling you about reading and stuff like that. And I love these, webinars I go to because I always feel like the biggest investment you really can make is in yourself,
Yourself.
so that's the big thing for me. And I'm, like I said, that thirst for knowledge. So
Well, don't ever change. I
yeah.
think that's amazing.
Mm.
So, just a couple last questions. If someone was spending the first day in Frankfurt or they've never been here before, what's one place or places that you tell them they have to go see?
Okay. So I would tell them that you have to go to downtown Frankfurt and then just walk around and enjoy the whole area. With Ryder Green, the great restaurants here, Francesca's, Trail's Edge, Fat Rosie's,
Yeah.
the Loft. There's a lot of fun place here, and that's one of the things that my wife and I love. My ourselves personally, but if everybody that like we have friends like my wife's family's from Tennessee, they come up and visit us. We bring them down here.
Yeah.
But, bringing the dinner here, you got to see downtown. Matter of fact, last year when her mom came back up here, was it Christmas night? I wanted to show her all the lights and everything down here. It was nice. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't take
yeah,
it for granted.
right,
I love our
right,
downtown and I love walking through it, riding my bike,
right.
dining, everything. I
Yeah.
just think
It,
we're so fortunate to
we
live
are. We're
here.
grateful
And
with the trail system
there's so
and everything.
much.
Yeah, there's so much here, and that's what keeps the communities together. I think it's a strong downtown area.
Yeah.
Keeps everybody like, hey, do I want to move? No, I'm gonna stay because I can just down.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. So you've shared a lot about Goldilocks yourself. We learned you're an avid reader. You like, reinvesting in your company. Is there anything else that people might be surprised to know about you?
gosh, I'm kind of boring in that sense, But yeah, so no, I mean that I'm just guy that's out there trying to keep growing my business and make sure the people that work for me are elevated because I'm not like I said I feel like I'm responsible for everybody. I want to make sure everybody else is successful. I mean, that's why I put together a bonus performance plan for these guys, something like that. So they're just not boring,
Yeah.
okay, put my time in, I go home and, and we
Well,
do,
you
yeah,
invest in your
right.
employees, right? Then it
Yeah.
comes back.
Yeah. And we do a lot of fun stuff. We have tech meetings, we have truck washes, we're all getting together, we'll bring breakfast in and, just everybody makes you feel part of that whole team.
They're your
So
family,
we're the
right?
family, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So, I mean, other than the cars, and I do love my golden retrievers. So my two golden retrievers.
I do too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't know we both have Goldens.
Yeah. I don't know that either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay. Learn something new every day.
So, matter of fact, you'll start seeing my two Goldens in some of the social media posts that we put up. Our marketing people will do that. So,
That
we'll get
they're
the Golden with Goldilocks. So, it's,
I love
yeah.
it. They're great dogs. Anything else you care to share with our listeners?
No, I would say it to any of the listeners out here is that the Frankfort Chamber is a great organization. The town of Frankfort's a great village. Pauline is an amazing
Yeah,
director. So it's
I
like,
can't
yeah,
say
yeah, 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 yeah,
that.
yeah. So, I love being part of your board and stuff like that. So, and thank you again for, inviting me.
Oh, Jerry, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate the time and sharing the story behind Goldilocks and how you got started. So be sure to subscribe to the Find It in Frankfurt podcast so that you don't miss any series. As always, we encourage everyone to shop local, dine local, and to support the businesses that make our local community so great. Until next time, remember, you
You can
find
find
it
it
in
in Frankfort.
Frankfurt.
All right.